Quarter 3 for the Elder Scrolls Online brings, as expected, new structural furnishings. So with update 39, we have Necrom style structural furnishings that you can farm for. Stay around to the end of the video and I'll tell you the best way to get them. Hello, it's Icy. Yes, that's right, I'm back again with another video about housing in the Elder Scrolls Online because I love it. This time, we are talking about structural furnishings. There are new ones that will be coming with update 39. You'll be able to get these from the reward coffers for doing the daily quests in Necrom. So that will be the Delve quest, the World Boss quest, and I'm pretty sure the Mimic quest gives you a reward copper as well. Opening any of those will give you a chance to get one of these new furnishing plans. So let's take a look. Some of the things I'll look at as well might be things that I think will just be crown only. I will let you know as we look at them. However, we get this absolutely massive column. I am going to buy quite a few of these just to give you a sense of the scale, because these things are absolutely ginormous, and they are really, really cool. This one as well. Oh, surface drag is the worst. Look at that one. I love that one so much. The colors are exquisite and the shapes are fantastic. Okay, let's take a look at the next lot. And the other thing I want to point out here, and I would like to say thank you so much to the housing team for this, but as you go through, what happens now is all of the new things are at the top of the list, and thank you, it is fantastic, and so appreciated. So we have a super cool framed exterior window. All of these are on an angle. Most of the Necrom buildings are angled this way. I don't know how I feel about it being on an angle. I mean, you can make it go straight and then just stick it into some other wall, but yeah, I don't know. Now, one thing I haven't been able to test because it hasn't been nighttime yet in the game is these are under enchanted windows, so I'm gonna assume that these actually shed light at nighttime, but I can't confirm that. And from previous testing, I don't know if this is a bug or not, if I set the house to night, it doesn't turn the lights on, as far as I can tell. It's related to the actual Tamriel time, as opposed to what the house says it is. So, but hopefully they glow in the night. So we have this also fantastic leaded one. And you'll note as well, a lot of these are just blue and green as opposed to purple. And so look, it's so good. This one is the same on both sides. So it's great for a skinnier wall where you want to put it in and have the window appear on both sides. And then we have one extra one in here. So this is another sort of a plainer one as well, but once again in that very sort of striking pyramidal shape. Okay, so if we jump down to, where is the next lot? I think we're just going straight down to structures at this point. I just want to say, housing team, for these pieces, you really outdone yourselves. There's just, look at that. Look at that. It's so good. Look at the underside. I can just see so many uses for this particular one. I think it's flying saucers, eyes of giants, Death Star rays, satellite dishes, all sorts of stuff. But one thing that I particularly think will be fantastic for this one is to use it to transform a water source into having like a bottom. So if you had a nice deep water area and you wanted to use it, I think you could do some really absolutely fantastic things with this one. I think it's really, really cool. I can't wait to see what people do with this one in particular. All right, so then we have, and this is, do you like to make triangular roofs? But do you find that if you're trying to assemble it, you don't have the right shape to put under the roofline to fill in the edge? Well, Zenimax Online has you covered now. We have roof gables. So these are great triangular shapes. I would say, I will put in a bug report, or I'll hopefully remember to, this would be better if it was like vertical as opposed to flat like a platform, like vertical like a wall, because it would make it a lot easier to place. But if we right click on, I don't know, say something flat, hopefully we'll get it. Well, that didn't really work, did it? Let's do it this way. We can basically, we get a great sort of shape here. Also, you'll note super cool like underside as well, structural, really interesting to look at. So you can either use it point up, or, you know, acute point, and then roof, and then something, and another one. Options. It's fabulous. I'm just really happy with this one as well. Then we have this delicious metallic green sort of verdigreed roofline, which is awesome. Also, it's not, it doesn't have the same sort of roof like texture that makes you slide off. So you can actually walk on this. So this would also be great as a pavement or other sorts of things. So I'm quite pleased with the roofline as well. I think that'll be, I think we'll be able to do some really interesting things with those roof tiles. And then we've got a selection of basically giant stone blocks with different sorts of stair arrangements. If you're wandering around the city of Necrom, you'll see things that basically look like this as you're wandering up and down the stairs. So all of these can be combined together to give you some really interesting stair kind of combinations, but also upside down as well to make sort of interesting roof lines is another option too. So under buildings we have a great Necrom funerary alcove recess, which is pretty good. And then we have some interesting bits in here too. So we have an archway, which I'm going to put out. So we have this rather giant archway. Now, actually, maybe we'll make it a little lower so I can show you what I'm talking about. So one interesting touch with the archway and some of the other walls you'll see is there's this little bit of an overlap. So as you kind of put the walls together, the overlap will appear on one side. It's interesting, but I think it has some implications that you'll have to take into account while you're building if you're using these. The archway itself is fantastic, but there's a couple of things I think will need to be taken into account. So we've got this fabulous large metal Necrom doorway. I think it has a visual bug. So the PTS has been out for exactly, I don't know, about 12 hours. So there's no fixes for at least the first week. They basically do fixes once a week or so. So I would think that this will be fixed. But if I put this down on this side, what you'll see, however, is there is a kind of a texture thing going on the other side. I'm not quite sure what's happening there. It's just a transparent thing, and also there's this weird thing. I suspect what's happening is this might be when you open a door sometimes in ESO, there's black on the other side as you step through. I think maybe that's what's going on. And I don't mean, so a door for like a quest, you step in and then you go through to the other side and it's clear. So I think that this is a door that's used in-game, but they haven't removed this effect from, but I think that will get tidied up. On the other hand, there is a super cool black portal right there, and I don't know if I would want that instead. So maybe? It also doesn't quite fit in the archway, but that's okay. Then we've got these cute little doors. So these are just people-sized ones. But the gold color is delightful. And also there's no handle on the other side. So you could also use these as like sort of windows or decorations or something along those lines. Then we have a doorway tall, and this thing is absolutely monumental. It's amazing. I just want to build with these giant blue and white and gold walls. I want to make an Egyptian temple. I don't know what I want, but this is just fabulous. I really, really, really love this stuff. Now, as we went and saw the Telvanni house in the previous video, do check the link. Conveniently enough, we also have the option for a circular Telvanni archway. This is a fantastically practical piece of masonry. You could use it horizontal to make circular features, vertical, put them together to make a wall, put them together to make window shapes, figure of eights, all sorts of stuff. Super interested to see what people do with this. And a fantastic round hobbit-like door that you can insert into the archway, but of course you can use in other ways in other builds, and it's really nice. Now, we have some other bits and pieces. Now, you might look at this and think, oh, well that's kind of boring. Oh, there's something going on with that. Oh, I'm guessing the textures haven't been sorted out properly. And probably not, and I'm thinking they will fix that up as well. However, I do want to show you this because look at that. Is that not absolutely wonderful? It is this fantastic dome, but the way I want to use it is like this. Did we get it flat? One more? Whoop. Like this. Okay, grab that. And then this is why we're here, out with the water. Whoopsie. Because if you've got deep enough water, and you can put this in like this, then you have yourself an absolutely magnificent swimming pool. And the advantage of this one over the dome is because it has square sides, you can actually arrange this with platforms and things around it and then create an absolutely perfect swimming pool. I think this one is... I really, really want that one. Out of any of them, I think that one I want the most. Everything else is... Oh, actually, I want them all. Who am I kidding? But that one there, I want to make something special with. So we also have a beautiful, fantastic floor. But of course, this as well will make a wonderful wall. So I just put this here on the far grave to give you a size comparison. Whoop. Nope. Nope, we'll have to put some stuff away. Oh, goodness me. This is a pre-decorated house. So, to give you a comparison, you can see it's just slightly smaller than the Fargrave one. So then we have the Necrom platform stone. So these are the same size as the Fargrave giant square blocks as well. And these are rather fantastic. So the idea is you can add these in to different things like the archways, so that you can build yourself a city if that's something that you want to do. And it's really lovely. And then also, and I appreciate this touch, we have the little Necrom ramps that you can see around the city of Necrom, used to pull the beers up and down the stairs. One thing is there's no small sets of stairs, there's only the stairs that are built into sort of the other big stone blocks. There's no just set of stairs, which is an interesting oversight. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. That is a bit funny. So anyway, look at this. Necrom railings. These are really fancy and really cute, and they're gonna be, I hope, a structural furnishing. So you can actually use these around the place and have stuff look fabulous. We have a corner wall. Now note the presence here of that little overlap joiner on the corner. Then we also have the flat wall, which is something I want to show you. I'm just going to put this here, get this out of the way. This is where I think the door one is going to start maybe having some issues. So obviously it's perfectly fine from this way around. We add that overlap in and the whole thing looks seamless, imagining as... I actually want to put the door away, imagining as if I had done that properly. However, if we look from the rear side, we don't, obviously, this is just blank on the back. So if we want to complete this, we'll actually need to put another one on if we want to get the wall effect. But then what happens is you've actually got two. Because the door has the front and the back, it has the overlap on the same side as opposed to the mirror side. But all of the walls and all of the corners all have it on the left side. You're going to end up with a problem. So one thing I would say is, if it's not too late, is they should really think about moving that overlap, either moving the overlap so that it doesn't exist and everything is centered, or moving the overlap to the left side on both sides of the archway, because I reckon that's going to cause some awkwardness. Is it the end of the world? No, of course not. Housing Mance's very particular about these things? Yes. So it's just one of those little things. So then we have a wall to match the arch with the doorway. So looking gorgeous, absolutely wonderful. Oh wait, really? Oh, that's a problem. Okay, so that's probably another. I'll put a bug report in for. Could actually do all the bug reports. The heights are different for the overlap of the. Yeah, so the decal, the skin. This doesn't match, and that's probably an issue, really. So they presumably should be at the same height, at least, so that the doors and the walls can all line up. Yep, you can break it up with a pillar, but, you know, it's just one of those things. That would be nice. And then you have a simple wall as well. So this one, let's just check the heights then for this one. One thing I wish with the simple wall was that... see, once again, the problem is then it's not going to match with the other fancier walls. So if this was in fact split and on half on either side, it would give you a little more flexibility. We can possibly layer it in, maybe, but even that looks a little awkward. Just putting, you know, it's probably best if the blue is the plain blue. If the plain blue for all of the walls was at the end of it, then everything could match perfectly. I think we've established the housing manses. We picky. But what else do we have? Okay, so Undercroft. We think we have some things in here. Here we go. Yep, so we have a monolith. Now this thing is big. We're not talking like a small statue. This is as big as the Emissary's Enclave roofline. So if you want to build your own house with its own roof, this is what you need. And it is simply huge and fantastic, honestly. So we have some genuinely wonderful things in here. Now, things that are crown only that I am aware of at this stage are just under dead wood. There's a whole bunch of new dead trees. You will have seen these in the previous Shadow Queen's Labyrinth video. This is the types of trees that you would have seen around that property. So these are generally not available, maybe for crowns, probably for crowns, maybe for gold. I'm not sure what in-game vendor would sell these, if anybody did though, so I think these are going to be a crown only, if that's something that you're after. And of course, we also have the new hedges. So I think these will be crown only. You can get them with the house, but I think these will be crown only. However, they are very, very nice. So at the start of the video I said stick around to the end to find out the best way of actually farming for these new furnishing plans. So as I said up front, you will get them from turning in the boxes, for opening the coffers, for doing the daily quests in Necrom. So the Necrom daily quests are just up the way from the way shrine. That's the way shrine down there through that archway. So you have your bastion, your well boss, and your delve boss. So here's the tip though, you can start doing these dailies now, like tonight, this afternoon, in the morning. All you need to do is not open the coffers. This does require a lot of inventory space, so pick a character who has plenty of spare room. You could just do the delve quest if that's what you're able to do. I will say the world bosses for Necrom, some of them are really hard, so you might need a group. So even if you're just sticking with repeatedly doing the delve quests, just hold those boxes in your inventory. When update 39 launches, then you open them. There's no cooldown on the furnishing plans. There will be a chance to get a new motif, I think. I don't think that starts dropping until the actual Telvanni Peninsula event, festival, celebration. But there's no cooldown on the furnishing plans. You can open 3 boxes in a row and get 3 new furnishing plans. Should you do this if you're a housing mancer? Well, yes, of course. But should you do this if you're not a housing mancer? Yes. If you need cash or gold in the Elder Scrolls Online, absolutely. These sorts of plans, especially the purple ones, will sell for millions of gold in the first week. I would say if you're a housing mancer but you need money to spend on other things, very much consider whether you want to sell your purple or fancy plans on the market in the first week, because the prices absolutely drop. They drop pretty significantly. Over the first month, you would expect a $1 million gold plan to probably be selling for 50,000. So if you don't yet have as much cash as you need to play around with, I absolutely advocate for selling those plans high, rebuying later if you don't get it again at a much more reasonable price. Additionally, a lot of people will be doing this, housing mancers, to farm for the plans. They'll be doing this probably after Update 39 launches. There'll be another flush of people doing a lot of dailies when the Telvanni Peninsula event starts as well, and then the prices will drop further then. So do keep that in mind. If you want the best possible chance, farm now. If you can work a delve into your daily routine, it is something that you can do to save up. But I hope this information has been helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Do join me here on YouTube tomorrow, the next day. Most days this week, there'll be new videos coming out for at least, I think, quite a few days in a row as we go through and look at all of the housing information for the Elder Scrolls Online. Do follow me also over at twitch.tv/ICYIC, where you can find me streaming the Elder Scrolls Online 4 days a week. I'm a member of the ESO Stream Team, and I often have giveaways, so come over and say hello. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Icy, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.